Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to be breaking down two different trades that I took on SPY. One of them was a $1,000 loss. The other one was a $1,500 gain. I want to talk about why I took this entry initially and then how I recovered from this entry later on. So I posted this in the server. I said I'm slightly green on the day. Right? I got worked in a trade that I had no business being in. It was SPY short. It wasn't on the watch list and I broke the rules, which is true. It was not on the watch list and I did break the rules being in this trade. CRM and ZM were both on the watch list. Both of them hit for the gains today. Both of them paid for me to get back to the green. I just wanted to be transparent. I'm not perfect by any means. And then here's my P&L on the day. That's my CRM trade, $880. My Zoom trade, $230. And then my SPY short loss. That gave me a net profit of $85, which after commissions, I was actually slightly red by like $50 after commissions. All right, so that was posted in my Discord server. So what happened on this trade, right? Why did I even take SPY short in the first place and where did I enter? So SPY on the daily, there's a few points that I need to make here, so just bear with me. SPY on the daily has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in a row, right? Reversing off of this 50 EMA and pushing up. So it felt right that we would have some sort of pullback following 5 green days in a row. All right. The second thing that I noticed on SPY was that the RSI indicator was pretty high. I mean, it's not overbought at these levels, but usually when it gets up around this price point, you see it kind of pulls back, SPY will pull back or consolidate. It pushes up and then SPY will pull back or consolidate. And then so it pushed up. Well, what can we expect, right? Maybe a little pullback or consolidation. So those are the first 2 points that I kind of wanted to make. That was why I was entertaining this idea of taking SPY short. So I'm moving to the 5-minute chart time frame now. This green line that you see drawn across the screen here, that's not based off of the pre-market high, although it was the pre-market high. That line is a script that's written to identify the previous day's closing price. So here's the previous day's closing price. That's why this green line was placed there. And it is significant because it's a line that day traders use to identify red to green moves and green to red moves. It is a hidden level of support and resistance, if you will. So SPY opened up. Actually, it flushed kind of pre-market here and a little bit of volume. Looks somewhat like a bear flag or bear pennant, which I mentioned in chat. And then opened up and went big green and immediately rejected at the previous day's closing price and came down. So I was thinking that there's no way that this reverses from that flush move and breaks the previous day's close and pushes up higher. I had already kind of had it in my mind that today was going to be a red day, so I was really entertaining the idea of taking SPY short. It's just a matter of, where do I take this entry at? So I'm going to flip to the 1-minute time frame and show you what I saw here. SPY was holding support at 448.4, so we'll draw a trend line right there. It was making lower highs on these rallies. So there's your high, there's the rally, there's a lower high, there's the rally, there's a lower high, and then we get a flush move down below this price point. So what happens at this time? In the Discord server, we have a flow bot. The flow bot gave us an indication, SPY puts, right, at 8:56 a.m. For 4.6 million premium. Then we had literally 1 minute later, 8:57, QQQ puts 6.6 million premium, and even OG said, sheesh, someone knows something, right? So maybe they did, maybe they didn't. So where was this occurring? 56 and 57. We're going to point that out on the 1-minute time frame. This is 56. This is 57. Remember, this is your low of day, so it's literally put in, those trades were put in just before the flush here into the low of day. So what I saw was the low of day put in, and I was like, okay, well, this is old support, right? Old support should act as new resistance if this is to continue down. So I took my initial short entry right here at 7 a.m. my time. This rejected came down, I was green, it didn't put in a low of day, and it reversed. So I was red on the trade right here. I probably should have cut the trade right there because it wouldn't have been as big of a loss as it wound up being, right? I was down I sold it for $1,000 loss. I try to keep my losses at like $500 or less. But I wanted to hold on because I was like, well, wait a minute, this is putting in lower highs. It's rejecting the previous day's close, right? We had a bunch of different points that were made. The RSI on the daily, the 5 days green. I was like, this has got to come down. We got the flow coming in, kind of confirming the move for me. So I held on. Back to break even in this area. I didn't sell. I was like, okay, that's good. It's back below this support point. Then it reversed back up and kept putting in higher highs, higher highs. And I was like, you know what? At this point, it's just not going to do what I want it to do. I got a bad entry. I'm down $1,000, which is double my max loss. So I'm just going to cut the position before it gets out of hand, right? Because I didn't know this could have ran back up to the previous day's close, and I would have been down 2,000 or 3,000. So it's just a bad entry, right? I should have managed it better. I should have cut the position earlier, or maybe not chased this move down and really waited for this, because this is what happened later. Eventually that volume came in. So I'll flip this to the 5 minutes so you can see the relative volume. Look at that volume here on this flush, right? Big volume there on that flush move down. That was the expected move that I was wanting to be in. I just got in too early. There was no way that I could have managed that trade any better other than to cut my losses sooner, right? So we're going to go back to the 1 minute time frame, and I'll show you where I took my second entry to reverse this P&L. Things happen whenever you're trading, and it's not something that you should let discourage you, because each trade is independent from the next, right? And whenever you have a previous trade affecting your next trade, that's how you make bad choices or make bad decisions. So you have to come into each trade with a clear mindset. So I was wrong. I accepted it. I took my loss, whatever. Then I get this flush move, and I was like, oh man, well, now those puts are paying, right? Well, rather than just watching this happen and being upset about me missing the move, I started to think, how can I get in on this and make some more money, or make a little bit of this money back? So when a move happens like this, and I never really go short on SPY unless I see something typically like this, right? So I was like, the first entry, I didn't really have a whole lot of confirmation. I was just assuming it would break down. The second entry, I had more confirmation, because now we've got the volume, we've got the big low of day flush, and we've got this larger move down. So what happens on these larger moves down is that selling pressure gets relieved by some sort of rally. And when the rally occurs, that rally is, think of it as like a dip entry, right? That rally offers a dip entry for all those traders that miss this first entry. So people like me, watching this for confirmation, boom, there's your confirmation, there's your dip entry, short the rally for the next leg down, for the next move down. So I wound up scaling in. So this was my first entry over here, and I cut that position over here. And then I took my second entry, I actually scaled into this trade. I took an entry short there. It pushed up a little further. I took another entry short here. And then I wound up selling somewhere down in here before this pop move. I think I sold like right there. Why did I feel comfortable taking another short entry and scaling into this position here? Well, we have to look at the pre-market lows, right? The pre-market low was at 448 at the time. So where did this push to and reject? Right near 448. So that was another confirmation point for me to take that entry. So there's a few things here, and I don't know if I explained this very clearly, but I'll review those points, all right? Point number one is that it rejected the previous day's closing price. That was the first thing in the opening session that told me that SPY may come down for the day. The second thing that we saw that I had mentioned was it was making lower highs, right? There's your high, there's your lower high, there's your lower high. Even this was somewhat of a lower high. I mean, it's the same high, but somewhat of a lower high. So lower highs was point number 2. Number 3, our third confirmation was our flow bot confirmation, right? This serves to help you confirm moves. You're not supposed to take trades following these, but if you already have an idea of something that may happen, and then you get a larger flow come in confirming that idea, well, then your idea might be right. Point number 4, we had that higher RSI on the daily. Point number 5, we had those 5 green days in a row on SPY. Point number 6, we had higher volume on the flush move down. That's your big confirmation right there. And then point number 7, it rejected, this right here, rejected the rally, rejected the pre-market lows. So all of those points came together for me during this rally, and that's why I had the confidence to enter into this trade, and I scaled in just to kind of mitigate risk, but the confidence to enter into this trade and then sell to make my money back. So I wound up making $1,500 on the second SPY short, and this is what I said. The beautiful thing about trading is that when you're wrong, you can fix it and come back. So I'm green on the day now, shorting that SPY rally. My initial entry was a bad one, so I cut and I fixed it. $475 profit. It was a $1,500 profit, kind of just taking away that $1,025 loss. So all in all, green on the day, $1,500 with my other 2 trades on CRM and ZM. And maybe I could have held on for a little longer or even longer than that, but look, I'm not here to get greedy. I made more than I lost, and I'll take that and be happy, right? Okay, well, I hope the videos helped you out. Those things that I mentioned are all things that you should keep in your mind for any sort of trade that you're taking. These are things that you should be noticing intraday. So it's not just, what is the price action for the day, but what is the price action in the pre-market session? What is the what is the news coming out on the stock or the ticker? What has the stock been doing on the daily? Does it make sense that there would be some sort of pullback or rally? All of these things come together, and when they do, you have multiple confirmations to take a trade. Just don't be like me and jump the gun. Wait for that higher volume confirmation. Volume will confirm the moves for you. It's just a matter of being patient. All right, take care. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Press the like button for me if you have. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in chat.